When the market opened, you can see what happened. Okay, so when the market opens, look at 9:30. The market opened right there. Okay, so when the market opens, and at 9:30, it was at I'm trying to remember 10.67 and a quarter. That was the number. Just so you know, 10.67 and a quarter. The gap's way over to the far right-hand side, and it's 10.76 quarter. Right? My comment at the time that it opened is, it's not going to fill right now. Don't even try it. And as soon as that happened, it tanked. 2 candles straight down. Now, if you own it, and now this is what happens in an E-mini trade. I don't know where the bottom is, but I called 62 long, and it bounced back up, and then it bounced around. And then I said about 11 o'clock, 11:15, my comment was, be careful here. It's a lunchtime bounce. Be very careful because the market has a tendency to go up, and I had to leave and meet somebody by 1 o'clock, so I had to leave. And look what happened right when I left. Then yeah, you got his arrows popping right up.
There's your arrows.
Sure enough, up it went, and it went all the way up to 67 from there. Then it bounced around. Keep going on this thing because it bounces around. Now this is called the bounce. So it bounces around, and here it goes again. Look at the time now, 12 o'clock. Thank God those guys' arrows are here. At 12 o'clock, it's lunch, right? Look what happens at lunchtime. Now we got a real bounce. This is the lunchtime bounce. It's starting to move back. And then it just goes nuts. It goes up to 74. Now, if you're a trader, you've now made 7 points. In all honesty, most traders quit at noon. They do. I mean, if they can, except people that want to get out of a trade. So now you watch they quit. It goes back down. Lunchtime bounce. Look what it does, all the way back down again. That's what I trade every day. If I saw 75, I don't know that I did it because I wouldn't have. I mean, it now goes back down. I'm now waiting just for one more trade, and I want 3 o'clock. So I go to the bar, I get there a little after 3, and I set up. And I got 68, and I went long. So I did 68 long, which I got at about, I don't know, I think I got it a little earlier than 3:30. I mean, between 3:30 and 3:45, and I took it to the long side. So then I'm sitting here talking to him, and I go, oh, my God, the gap's going to fill. So remember the gap trader who was thinking, I'm a dead man, I didn't make it, I've lost my shirt. He's out. He doesn't know, right? If he put a 10-point stop on, he's safe. He didn't lose. But if he didn't put a 10-point stop on, he's out already. He got knocked out.
My gap trader, you mean the previous day?
Yeah, when we started, he made that decision at 67.25. So if a guy made that decision at 67.25 and he got stopped out, he wasn't in for the gap fill. He missed it. He would have actually lost money. But in the meantime, through the day, and while it goes off, he's put his number at 76 and a quarter. And if you keep watching it, it'll go all the way up. And then this bad boy took off, and he got his 76 and a quarter late in the day. So that's what happened yesterday. So it took off again. It's coming back up. Here it comes again. We're going to see the big run up. And bingo. Isn't that terrible? You need to ride a roller coaster when you play this bad boy. There you go. And then it closed. So he would have actually been filled pretty much about a little bit after 4 o'clock, but he would have been filled on his trade. But that's a tough thing to do. So you have to develop, especially if I'm only trading 2 contracts, I'll go dancing, swimming, anywhere I can go. I'm going to hide. So I'm not looking. If I were trading the gap and I was only trading 2 contracts, I would actually go for the gap or not, make my decision. And I really would trade 2 contracts and not even look. But the real gap traders trade 20, 30, 40, 50 contracts, a lot of contracts. And they go right in at the, when you see all that volume in the front, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a truckload of gap traders. And they're going with a lot of contracts early and going after it. But isn't that fun? It's not as much fun as trading the stocks thing, but it's a blast. But it takes certain nerves. I mean, people get scared, they get nervous. If you had gone through the whole day and now all of a sudden, instead of making, now this guy just made 11 points, right? He would have made 11 points. So he would have walked out of his pocket with his 2 contracts. He would have made over $1,000. Yep, right. He would have made over $1,000, and he didn't. And he was out in the same day. Now you're out and you're liquid. It's over. But that's called trading the E-mini. And again, I think being in a chat room, the plus is that somebody's helping you through it a bit. But yeah, I don't think any of these traders can make any decisions anymore. They just wait for us to call it. To a certain degree, that's what I'm doing.
When you go to chat room, is someone explain why they take the trade, reason behind, or they
Well, they'll sometimes. I mean, I think you talk to Nathan a lot offline. I mean, but you got to go offline because if you're calling, those guys don't want to hear what you think. They want you can actually go there and send them a message and they'll explain why they made the call.
They will explain why they make the call.
They will. They will, or I
good.
will. I mean, while I'm with them in the morning, I'll explain it. But I talk. We you can actually hear me. So in the morning there's not as many people on. It's not as crowded. But as it gets bigger and bigger, it's harder to talk to you because everybody else is. So when they take me offline, I can't possibly trade when I'm on. It's impossible, which sucks. I like to trade. So I make my trades early in the morning when there's not a lot of guys on. And then I wait till the end of the day when I'm not on to trade. And I prefer the morning, so it's really tougher for me. So when you see this with all these, the people ask good questions, and they're from other countries. And so they're, and they rate us and give them answers.
Is the big success with the e-minis because of it's a time lag, like you have an advantage?
No, the big success for the minis is cash.
It's just so liquid.
Yeah, well, it's as liquid as you can get. I mean, when cash works, you're out.
Each phone is $50, so you make 5 phones, $500.
Yeah, they're liquid too.
With the day.
You see if that pattern repeats, like on holidays, Fridays before holidays, you do the same thing?
Yeah, whenever anybody's looking for a long holiday, absolutely. And really, guys that think logically should all be trading the E-mini. I mean, a guy that's a great trader on options, I think I'm a good trader on options, but I got to tell you, I love them both. I don't have anything against, but I'm tying up cash, right? I've got $2,000 out of $3,000 out, $4,000 out. So my money's tied up till the trade's over, and I do a lot of spreads. So when the trade's over, I'm looking for more spreads though. So I consider that money I'm looking for spreads. That money I'm looking to trade the E-mini.
Allocation.
Right.
And it's only S&P, right?
Only the S&P. I mean, you can trade the Dow. I like trading the Dow as well, but you can learn to trade gold. You can do it with oil. You just saw him do oil futures. I think I think what I learned from oil futures, I only trade what I know. I was trained on this E-mini thing, in the S&P. So I traded. But I consider myself a great Dow trader. I think I would be better at trading the Dow than I would the S&P because I have to watch the NASDAQ as well. The Qs are in my face. The Qs have a major effect on that S&P. So I'm looking at the Qs and I'm looking at the Dow at the same time. So I think, maybe in the future I'll learn to trade the Dow, but it's not as liquid. The S&P is the most traded.
You think that they could apply it to Forex too?
The rule is simple.
Yeah,
One rule
they could.
Either buying or selling.
They could,
not
because
like
it has a complete effect on the market. I mean, the dollar changing in value through the day absolutely affects the E-mini. God, does it affect it? It's astounding. And I actually should put that up. I actually should put up
That's the
the futures so I'm looking at it.
You start oil,
Yeah, against the euro. Absolutely, against the euro. I'd rather probably play the pair. I want to see how that's traded because I think it makes a difference. So you actually gave me a great tip on this because I'm always looking at the Qs and I'm always looking at the Dow. I'm looking at oil. I'm looking at gold. Well, I use oil and gold as the effect of the dollar. So I'm using that.
So you don't look at the yeah.
Well, I look at the oil and gold to give me that, but I'll look at the.
You look at that.
But I like the
You
idea
will
of
see a
looking
flat.
at
That's
currency.
when the market
You do currency pair. Yeah.
You do currency pair.
No, I only do.
And they decided we are going to take Aapl.
London session.
So you better eat.
So the Germans.
Before lunch.
Yeah,
Germans too. After.
I think it's 3 too, but they may have changed their time zone, so you might be right.
It's a day.
Well,
There was 3.
London is 5 hours ahead.